Hey guys, this is BrendanMushi, and if you're watching these character guides for Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2 and you're a complete beginner to the franchise, this video is going to assume that you understand the basic mechanics of Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2. I actually covered the basic mechanics of the game in a beginner series that's on my channel. I actually have it in a playlist if you want to click on my channel and view that if you don't understand it already. There's going to be an infographic on screen that explains the numpad notation and the buttons for Guilty Gear, so that way you know what normal attacks I'm referring to. If you already understand that, then great, enjoy the video. Thanks guys. Hey guys, what's going on? This is BrendanMushi, and today we're doing a Millia guide. So what is Millia about? How does she play? Why should you play her? So Millia is the Okizeme Queen, or Oki for short. If you don't know what Okizeme means, basically in fighting games it refers to the mix-up that you do to your opponent after you knock them down on the ground. So Millia is basically known for having really good low options, overhead options, going crossing up to the other side after she throws her tandem top special move on them, which basically locks the opponent down so she can go for overheads or lows, and then just keep mixing the opponent up over and over again, keep knocking them down until eventually they die. That's literally what you want to do with Millia. She has very fast mobility, and also she has the third lowest health in the game, so you're gonna bleed really hard if you get hit as Millia, so just, you know, don't get hit. So basically what I want to go over first with Millia is how basically what your game plan is with her from the start. So obviously I just told you want to get the knockdown and you want to mix them up over and over again. So I'll show you how to do that a bit later, but for now, the way that she's going to score hits is in the neutral game. Most of her buttons are probably going to lose to most of the cast because characters, you know, like Kai, Johnny, Faust, Venom, like a lot of characters are going to be able to outrange her or even zone her out with projectiles. So with Millia, you have to get really good at using her very vast movement options and speed to get around these options and punish people. She has a really fast dash on the ground and in the air. She has 2 air dashes, as you can see, instead of just 1, and she also has special moves that have good mobility as well. So I'll go over an overview of all of her her entire kit in a sec, but I just want to highlight these moves specifically. So she has 214K, which is a roll, and she can actually use it to roll underneath pokes and then get a punish and then get the knockdown to go for tandem top Oki. And then same thing with her fast fall, 236K. So she could also use this as a mobility tool to, you know, get around her opponent and then go for tandem top Oki. So that's mainly what you're going to want to be doing with her. So an overview of her normals. So her punches and kicks are all just really fast, chainable normals that you can do to the opponent. When you're like going into an air-to-air situation, it's going to be your fastest option. 2K is going to be your main pressure tool. I would start pretty much all combos with this. If you get a knockdown and you don't have time for tandem top Oki, just run up and do 2K. Keeps them honest. Her 5P can be used as an anti-air. 6P is an upper body invul, so it's also a good go-to anti-air. Far slash is going to be her main poke. You're going to Gatling it into heavy slash and then go into sweep. It misses at far range, but if you're closer, you can get the sweep and then go for your tandem top Oki and pressure. Her 2S is a low, as well as her 2K and her 2D, and these are going to be buttons that you'll use after tandem top. They're your low options to keep people blocking low. Her 6K is an overhead, and it actually is it's going to be her overhead option to mix people up overhead after tandem top. Her 2 heavy slash is a launcher, and it's going to be her main go-to for combos. So I said use 2K on them, so you're going to want to use 2K, Gatling into like close slash, and then launch them up in the air. And that's how you're going to go into her main combo that I'll get into a bit later. You can also use this as an anti-air and then go into that air combo as well. If you 6P them, like because they jumped at you or something like that. So that's what you want to do with her. As far as her air buttons, her air heavy slash has great range and can kind of be used as a poke right here. It also crosses up on the other side for mix-ups. Her jump dust can like blast people out of the air as well. If you hit somebody on counter hit, it'll actually wall bounce them, and then she can go into her combo from there. And then she also has a 6 heavy slash, which is a mid into an overhead. It can kind of be used for mix-ups because she can mix up with a hair car, which is 214P. You don't just want to use this move in neutral because you'll get punished on block and it's telegraphed, but you can use it in mix-up sometimes because it does hit low. So with this move right here, if they're blocking low, they'll get hit by the overhead on the 6H, as you can see. Now if they're blocking high, you can go into hair car and it'll hit low. So that's something she could kind of do after tandem top as well. But she can end combos with this because it gives her a really hard knockdown as well. And then getting more into her special moves. So I already went over the movement-based ones, Fast Fall, which is 2 through 6K, 2 and 4K, which is the roll. The roll has multiple follow-ups, so if you press K again, she'll actually roll, if you roll near the opponent, she'll roll to the other side. If you press K twice, she'll actually roll. If you press K one more time, she'll actually roll again. She could use this actually to get in on people, so if she's poking at them with these buttons, she could roll in and get a throw, and then go for her mix. Just be careful because if the opponent is looking for this, they can start, they'll like try and back throw you out of it, like that. But she has other options out of it. The slash version will go into less shaker, which you won't really use that much. The heavy slash version is the one that you'll probably use the most because it can be used in certain combos, and it could be used to basically shut down if they try and back throw you out of it. So now if they try and back throw you out of it, they'll get hit. So yeah, so a core part of Millia's special moves as well is her pin. So it's 2 and 4 slash in the air or 2 and 4 heavy slash. So core circle back slash, core circle back heavy slash in the air. And the slash version, she just falls down after throwing it. The heavy slash version, she like hops before throwing it. This is going to be the main way you end combos in the air because it actually gives her a hard knockdown so that she can do her Oki. Once you throw the pin, you do have to go pick it back up by hitting down. So you need to make sure that you manage the pin and not lose it, because after all her knockdowns, what can make Millia kind of difficult is you have to keep picking the pin back up so that you can keep using it for your combos, essentially. You can use it in neutral because if on counter hit, if you hit somebody's poke with it, it'll actually stagger them, and then you can run in for a combo and get your mix going. Also with pin, you can air dash in with it, and then as you can see, get a combo. If somebody like anti-airs you, right? Like that. See, if somebody anti-airs you, she can use the heavy one because of the little hop she does to actually get around people's anti-airs. And then she can get in and get a combo as well. So that's another thing she can use the pin for. Tandem top is the next special move. So 2-3-6 slash and 2-3-6 heavy slash. There's two versions of it. And the 2-3-6 slash is what you're really going to use for like combos and stuff. It actually wall bounces them in the corner. So oftentimes Millia will use this after her 6K. So if the opponent is blocking low, she can do 6K and then go into her combo off of it. And I'll show her combos a bit later. Her heavy slash version is the main thing you're going to use for mix-ups, and I know you see Millia players use this all the time. So what makes tandem top so good is that essentially the way that you want to use it is you want to throw tandem top up on them and then go for a mix-up like an overhead or a low. And then you want Millia to hit them first and then tandem top to hit second, and then Millia combo off of tandem top. And that's essentially what you want to do. So throw tandem top, overhead, throw tandem top, low, and basically just want to do that on repeat. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to put tandem top right on them first, because the reason why is because if they block tandem top doing it the correct way that I mentioned before, say I go low, it's going to hit second, and now I get another mix-up. So she gets one mix-up and then two mix-ups, right? So overhead, overhead again. But if you do it like this, to where the tandem top actually hits first, Millia only gets one, and she doesn't have the tandem top to actually follow up after her. So she doesn't have it anymore. So like in this situation where you get a sweep and you can't send the tandem top, you don't want to do that. So you actually would want to get a sweep and then wait and then tandem top so you can go low. See how much better that is? And another thing you could do too is Millia's will oftentimes sweep and then roll and then do it, and it gives them the same effect. So if you ever get a sweep with Millia, don't cancel into tandem top. Just do tandem. If you're close, just do tandem top afterwards. If you're far, just cancel into roll and then tandem top. Be careful, because if you're point blank and you roll, you'll go to the other side and you'll have to switch your input. Otherwise, you might get Secret Garden, which is 2 and 4 heavy slash, which I'll get into a bit later. So yeah, like I said, the main way you're going to end combos with Millia is into sweep, and then once you get sweep, then you want to go into her tandem top. And as you saw me do there, you can Y or C tandem top, and this is nice because when you Roman cancel in Guilty Gear, it slows down the opponent. So in situations where you might be a little slow, you can check them like that. Oops, drop the combo. Now what Millia's main bread and butter combo is that if you ever get a hit with Millia, you're going to go into her launcher. Now what she does after the launcher can vary depending on the character she's hitting, but you essentially want to do either one button or maybe two buttons into her air dust, and then you instant air dash off of her air dust. So I'll show you. So against Soul, what I'm going to do here is after the launcher, I'm going to do slash heavy slash dust. So slash heavy slash dust. So it looks like this. Now after the dust, you instant air dash, which the input for instant air dash is up, forward, return the stick to neutral, forward, like that. So it looks like that. Now after the instant air dash, you just hit heavy slash and then 214 heavy slash, which is the heavy pin, and the heavy pin will be the source of how you get your knockdowns. Now, if you are new to playing Millia, then what I would say is that you could just do something simple like this. So you could just do something simple like that. Now, once that's going to be your main bread and butter combo with her, otherwise you're just going to go into her sweep. And then if I were to get a hit there off of the tandem top, then you go into the launcher and you do the exact same combo that I just mentioned. So you're either going to go into sweep, roll, tandem top, and then... And so, yeah, so like that. Or sweep and then just tandem top by itself. So either that, or the only other combo that she'll really ever do is slash, far slash, roll, and then into the heavy slash option. This only works if the opponent is crouching, because if you didn't know, in Guilty Gear, characters have increased hit stun when they're hit while crouching. So this actually works if they're crouching. It does not work if they are standing, unfortunately. As you can see, it didn't combo, so you'll have to rely on doing her sweep. And if you're too far, you just have to do like that. We went over, using her movement options to get around pokes. We went over getting the knockdown and doing the tandem top, doing a mix first, and then comboing off of it if it hits with her launcher. So going for an overhead, 2H, and now the second piece is getting the pin back. So as you can see, the pin's behind me. Now normally when Millia throws the pin, it just lands right there. But in the corner, it bounces off the wall and goes behind her. So what a lot of Millia players would do is after they throw the tandem top, they'll backdash and hit down to pick it up. So they'll do, and then go low, and then boom. But in certain situations, like you saw right there, it was behind me. There are going to be times where you get a hit on the opponent and you don't have tandem, and you don't, sorry, you don't have the pin. If that happens, what you can do is you can end combos in bad mode, which is 236p. It's not going to give you a hard knockdown. Right there, you can see it did because they were low to the ground. But you'll see if I do, like, it ends up doing that. So just be prepared for them to tech out of the combo, and then just try and like air throw them or something. So you want to try and get the pin back, but sometimes you're not always going to be able to do it. Some couple of things about Millia's 6K, which is her overhead. So mid-screen 6K into S tandem top, you can't combo off of unless you like Roman canceled it, but in the corner you can. So in the corner, without her heavy slash tandem top or anything, you can do 6K into the slash version, and then you can get a combo after it. And it's just same B&B, right? And then she actually, on a lot of characters, can just outright combo off of her 6K by just doing 5K into the Gatling, see? And then because they're crouching, she can, she can do that. Because remember I said this combo works on crouchers? So if you actually hit someone with a 6K, she can do this. Her 6K also, it low crushes, which means that that hair where her hair is on the ground actually will not get hit. So if I do a 2k assault right here, see how she avoids it? So she'll actually like beat out low poke. So if somebody's just like mashing or something, she can actually beat it out if they wake up with that on wake up a lot of times. See? And then boom, and then you're in there. Overhead. See? And then even though they block the overhead, you're still plus, right? So that's what makes Millia really, really strong. It's just making sure you're using your pin in the neutral to maybe get a counter hit and stagger them if they're, you know, pressing buttons like I mentioned earlier. Boom, you're in there. There you go. And then if you get a block string on them, like I said before, you say like, you know, they blocked everything and you're like, oh man, what do I do? You could always RC and then go for like an overhead or something, right? You could use her roll, go for a throw. You could use her roll and then frame trap them from trying to get you out of the throw. So those are some block strings you can do with Millia. The important thing I didn't mention about Millia yet is that Bad Moon is actually an amazing overhead with her, better than her 6k because it's much faster. So the technique is called TK Bad Moon. If you're not familiar with what TKing is, it stands for Tiger Knee. It's called that because that was Sagat's actual input for his Tiger Knee move in Street Fighter back in the day. And so what the input is the input for Bad Moon is core circle forward P in the air, so 236P in the air. But if I jump and do it as fast as I can, I still do it from a really high height, and that's reactable because this is an overhead, but it's reactable because I'm clearly in the air. But if you do 236-9, so up forward, and then press punch, she'll do it as low to the ground as possible, and this is much faster. So look at the difference between me when I press the button and when it hits on these. So button, hit. Button, hit. Look at this. Button, hit. It's way faster. However, this is punishable on block, and so you want to do this followed up after tandem top, and then boom, you're in there. And if it hits them, I'll have soul block low here. And see, and then like I'd mentioned before, she also has left-right mix-ups, so you could also do something like this with Millia. Whoops. Alright, let me turn block off. Okay. So you could air dash to the other side. And see, that's essentially what you want to do. So getting into some of her overdrive. So she has 214, 214S, so double core circle back S, and she leaves a trail of roses that have a hitbox behind her. And this works really well with her movement options because now her roll will have a hitbox behind it that she can combo off of. So she can do a roll behind, and then boom. She also has, oh yeah, after her fast fall, they'll appear as well. This also allows her to combo off of TK Bad Moon on its own, and also makes TK Bad Moon plus on block. Oops, dropped the combo. but yeah, so it's an install super for 50% tension, but it's really strong. Her 236, 236 slash is mostly just combo filler. It does wall bounce in the corner, so she can actually combo off it. Right, and then she has 214, 1, 2, 3, 6. So it's a core circle back, half circle forward, heavy slash, and it's her only reversal that she has. It's her only get the fuck off me tool, completely invulnerable, and it tumbles when it hits them, so she can actually combo off of it. She can combo into it and off of it. And then this brings us to Secret Garden, which is 214 Heavy Slash, which is another lockdown special move, just like Heavy Slash Tandem Top, to lock them down while you go for mix-ups. So the way it works is when you input the move, she'll bring the fireball out and it will always move horizontally to the right. No matter what you do, it'll always do that. But Millia can select up to 4 different directions for it to travel afterwards in the order that you tell it to. And you pick the order by choosing one of 8 directions in Heavy Slash, and you do this 4 times. And then the game will remember those inputs and the ball will move that way. So if I wanted to make the ball move down, left, right, left, it would be down, left, right, right? And this can be really cool for Millia because she can get several mix-ups if she sets this up. It takes a long time to start up, so you don't want to do this in neutral because if you do, then you're gonna die. So, but if you get a knockdown like off of her 6H, then it gives you enough time to set it up. And what makes it really strong is that, for example, like let's say I set Soul to block here. So low, overhead, TK Bad Moon. See, he had to block like several mix-ups there, and there's nothing he could do about it. The interesting thing is, once she calls it out, even if she's hit, she blocked there, but even if she's hit, it still keeps going actually, which is interesting. Most of the time, people will do this after something like a 6H or something like that. So that's most of the time that you'll see Millias do that. Lust Shaker is her other special move. You won't really see it used too often. It's 214 slash. Sometimes people will use it as a combo ender in the corner. If you mash it, she can do it for a long period of time. It's actually plus on block, but you don't really see it used as much because it pushes them really far back. So the most you can really get is like a far slash kind of. So that's really the most you're really going to get out of that. Another useful technique for Millia is slash tandem top, so 236 slash, and then wire seeing it immediately. Because the hitbox is still there in front of her, so she just has a hitbox there in front and behind her. So you can actually use it in neutral. It'll actually eat projectiles as well. So you could do like that. That's exactly what happens. It just puts a hitbox. It puts a hitbox out for her. And so yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. Another technique with Millia too is just make sure when you throw tandem top, because sometimes what's going to happen is your opponent is going to be at a range where they're going to be at a range sometimes where if you tandem top, they're not close enough. And so that's why you got to make use of the roll and stuff to get close enough. Or another thing you can do is dash and then do it. The problem is that if you look, she runs so close to him that he's definitely going to throw her. Because in Guilty Gear, if you're too close to your opponent on wake up, you'll get thrown for it every time because throws start up instantly. So the technique Millia players do is instead of doing run tandem top, which look how far she went. She went mad far. Instead of doing dash tandem top, because she'll run and then do it and then slide from the momentum, you can actually just do quarter circle forward and then hit forward again. So 236 6 and then heavy slash, and it's like a shortcut you can do to where she won't run as far. It can take some practice because depending on the speed, she may actually go shorter than you want her to. But if you time it right, it should look like that. So that way. But if all else fails and you do end up running in front of them, just RC it and back up. Just wire C it and back up so you don't get thrown. You can jump, that way they'll whiff their throw. So you can air dash over them, that way they whiff their throw, and then you can combo off of it. So yeah, that's basically Millia, just using your movement options to get around your opponent's pokes, using the pin, and just making sure you get the combo, end it in pin in the air combo, or end it in down dust on the grounded combo, so that way you get the knockdown. Put the tandem top on them, and then go for your high-low mix using either TK Bad Moon or 6K for the overhead, side switching with her air dashes, side switching with her rolls, using her 2K, 2S, and 2D. If she's by herself, you can use her 6K into slash tandem top in the corner for the wall bounce and combo off of it. You can use her 6K overhead and mid screen and combo off of it yourself a lot of the times. And just using your rolls to either stay in, using your pins to stay in, and just stay on top of them. Make sure you don't get hit because you'll bleed, and that's essentially Millia. So I'm going to showcase some combos and mix up setups and everything with her afterwards, just like in the Soul Guide. If there's any other characters you guys would like to see, definitely let me know. I'll be doing a guide for every character in the game and multiple gameplay videos and coachings for Guilty Gear Xrd Rev 2, and I'll be doing the same for the new Guilty Gear when that comes out as well. Thanks guys so much for all the love and support. I really do appreciate it. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification so that way you get notified of my videos every week. And I'm also streaming pretty regularly, like every weekend, on twitch.tv/BrendanMushi. So thanks so much guys, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.